Welcome into the Smokers Haven Fantasy Football Podcast. I'm Z, here with Koop and Andy again, like always.
What's going on?
Today we're going to go through kind of a round one mock draft, kind of talk about where we think some guys might go a little bit. And then we'll go through a crazy rebuild that I'm doing in Andy's league. Go through some trades in that. You guys can judge how bad of a trader I am. Going back through them, I wasn't very pleased. How's it going?
It's going fantastic.
We're getting closer and closer to the NFL draft. I'm getting excited.
Are you 2 weeks from tomorrow?
Yes, sir. It's one of the best days of the year. Oh no, Vikings down as always. So that's why they're purple, right?
No.
You
There you go. No. Yeah.
There you
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
There you go. You can do it.
You can do it. Put your back into it.
about a week.
There you go.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, this rebuild's nuts. So let's go into Koop's little. Well, actually, let's do news and notes. You got anything?
Dun, 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 dun.
Stairs enter the sacred and awesome presence of the everlasting know-it-all.
I love that.
Oh man, I remember. I just thought of that time. I just
Yogurt.
thought that time you did that one and I cheesed out pretty hard.
You should move that camera just like a really touch towards Koop.
What?
Like
I
slide
gotta
the
get up?
base towards him just a tiny bit. Smile at the camera and you walk towards it.
Come on, Andy. It's okay.
A little bit more. Whoa, don't throw it on the ground.
I mean, you're an adult, but you don't need to throw it around.
No, like, so it kind of like turn so that I suck at fantasy football signs at the edge.
So turn it towards me, kind of, other way.
There you go. That works.
There you go. Yeah, we're good.
I know how it works.
Otherwise, you disappear.
Man, I ruined this on my face. Oh my god. Better screenshot that. That's like an Easter egg.
Oh, we should have got this. Here, I think I can do this actually.
Dun, 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 dun.
We're trying something new today.
What are we trying?
I'm just gonna
Screen
throw
sharing.
up. Oh yeah, do your news and notes. That's where we were.
Yeah,
Yeah,
news and
man,
notes.
we gotta
If
stop
you already
smoking
did that-
so much before.
Don't put me in your guys'
We already did
mischief.
the news and
Yeah, I
notes
know you did
portion.
the drop, but you got any news and notes?
Not really a whole lot going on right now.
There was a fucking sweet eclipse yesterday.
Yeah, that was about it.
No, WrestleMania happened this
badass.
weekend.
2 days ago now. My days are so confused now.
Was it-
I was just gone yesterday. 26 hours of driving and 44 hours.
It's a lot of driving.
But it
Just
was
for a
worth it.
minute. Just for uno momento.
3.5 minutes of totality. We were right in the dead center of it. Perfect skies and everything. It was great.
Would have been fun to be able to go. So
Trying to think of any big signings or trades.
there ain't nothing that has really happened in the last week or so. Everything's kind of silent. No big free agent signings. No trades. Just kind of everybody. I think we're at the calm before the storm. What's the draft? I mean, unless you want to count like what Rashee Rice is doing.
Yeah, we'll wait until that stuff works itself out a little bit more.
I guess we did
It's
have
worked out.
Josh
It's worked out.
Josh
gonna get in some
Allen
trouble
getting a
for sure.
$150 million contract. The Jaguars,
Oh.
Josh Allen. And then the Packers are going to be playing the Eagles in Brazil week 1 on a Friday night.
That's crazy and awesome.
So
Back-to-back days of football to start the season.
and then a
That's
day
great.
break, which is basically college.
Who's
and
the
then,
first game? They announced that yet?
September. Oh,
No,
what is
who?
it?
Who
Oh,
is it?
who? It's not the Who, so I'm not sure.
Have they announced the
I
first
don't,
game
I don't
yet?
think they have, because this is the first thing
Yeah, I
I've
don't
heard.
think they've announced the schedule yet.
Just weird how they just announced one game like that.
Is that the only one they've announced?
I get.
That's
Yeah.
why I haven't heard, because they haven't actually announced the game, just that one, huh?
Yeah, that's the only one because I don't think the schedule. When is the schedule release?
Well, I could see him promoting the national game, the international games.
Trying to let people know early so fans in other leagues.
Hit the screen share one. See if
Screen share.
See if it pops up.
Which one was the screen share?
Not sure what it's called.
Dun, 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 dun.
Set it up.
Oh man.
Oh, we got to change the name on that one then.
There it is. And then you can hit the camera button. There it is.
Got
There's
one
us,
job.
little
Got
tiny guy.
one job.
Well, he's got to
Well-
relabel it.
Yeah, I had it set up for best ball from last week still.
Oh.
They still work. They're just not called the same thing. All right. First pick of the draft's the Bears. Everybody knows they're taking Caleb Williams.
Yeah, I think that's pretty obvious. Oh, because he's not even interviewing with anybody else.
That's where he's going.
So
They put a bunch of weapons around him. He's walking in a great situation now.
going twos again, where it's going to really start kind of interesting. I think it's going to be Jane Daniels.
I've seen all three of them at 2.
Yeah, we'll see what happens, but
Sounds like May is kind of falling out of favor maybe a little bit, but again, that's all just rumors and hearsay at this point.
yeah,
So
you don't know what's smoke and mirrors and what's actual truth. So
if I were
everybody's
Washington,
putting
I would
different
take
things.
Jaden Daniels.
I would too. I just think he's a little bit more dynamic and
You know what I think about him?
What do you
Jaden
think?
Daniels?
About him? You tell me what you think about him.
He's athletic as shit. His rushing upside with the way scoring works is right there with Lamar. His passing's not bad.
no,
So
he's a Heisman Trophy
he
winner.
made,
And they got Eckler.
he made neighbors and
Brian Thomas.
Brian Thomas. Yeah, he made both of them look like, I mean, they are good receivers, but
It's hard to be a really good receiver and not have a good quarterback, but he's a really good quarterback and supported 2 really good wide receivers.
fantasy, I think I'd take Jaden Daniels first over Caleb just for the rushing. Washington needs some help, though, outside of quarterback.
They do need a lot, especially
Well,
on
they
the
need a
offensive
quarterback
line.
because they traded Sam Howell, so they do need a quarterback. So
And they need a running back, too.
they got 2 of them.
Offensive line and
Yeah, I don't know. I think
Jack's
Eckler's
for.
done.
What?
three
I think
offensive
Eckler's
linemen.
done.
No.
And Brian Thomas should
No.
be solid.
Who?
Was
Oh, Brian Robinson.
Brian Robinson Jr.
The running back? Yeah.
Yeah.
He'll be the starter.
I think he's a solid running back. So coming up 3, I think they have to take a quarterback just because you got to get somebody else in there.
Yeah, well, you lost Matt Jones.
Yeah, you
Traded
got
him to
traded for a
Jacksonville.
6th round pick.
I can't believe they got anything. So, congrats to them for getting something
Right.
outside of a bag of footballs. So.
4, again, this is with no trades. This is probably the first spot I think I could see a trade occurring if something did happen where somebody moves up for a quarterback and is willing to pay a king's ransom. But if Arizona does stay, I think you're going to see Marvin Harrison Jr. He should be the first wide receiver off the board.
For sure. I think that pick is, unless somebody comes with a big offer, I think that pick's locked in.
I don't know. Neighbors is getting a lot of talk.
Yeah. Yeah, Neighbors is right there.
Getting a lot of talk.
Then I still think Harbaugh is going to just, again, build that offensive line.
I don't
They
know who
should
this
probably
guy
go
is.
wide receiver in taking Neighbors, but I don't think they do. I think they'll take Joe Alt and take that best offensive lineman in the draft, which
could
is good
see-
for Herbert.
I could
but
see them trading out, possibly.
Yeah, that would be another good trade spot if they want to move back and take something else, build some draft depth. Otherwise, I got the Giants taking Malik Neighbors because they have to get somebody on the outside.
They have to get somebody.
They got to get a team.
Yeah, they're really lacking at
Everything.
all of the positions.
Even kicker.
Yeah, I don't know who the kicker is.
They should be the team that's looking to trade out just to get more draft capital. And
Yeah, they need everything.
yeah.
They're not in a good, like, if they could trade for future picks, that would probably be even better. Just load up on future stuff. Let this year play out because you're going to be bad. You're going to be really bad.
Yep.
And get a ton of draft capital going forward.
Yeah, you get your own picks next year plus whatever you built up.
Be a good thing. 7, I got the Titans going offensive line. I think they're just going to really try to beef up and protect Levis because I think they're going to move to that pass-happy offense that you saw in Cincinnati with the offensive coordinator.
That'd be fun.
coming there.
No more Derrick Henry. So
But you did get Pollard, right?
yeah,
You did get Pollard.
his biggest weakness though, is pass pro. Like, I watched him get Dak blew up a lot of times. Pollard is not a good pass blocker. We miss Zeke so much with pass blocking.
Yeah, he's just a small guy anyway, so it just doesn't help.
It doesn't even get in the way. I don't know. They
Eight-
need the offense line though. That's always a good thing to draft.
Yeah, and especially there's a lot of good offensive linemen. This is
I'll
good
never
year
hate on the
for it.
Cowboys if they take an offense lineman.
Next up at 8, I got Atlanta taking Jared Verse. Defensive end, probably again one of Atlanta's biggest needs because they can never get to the pass rusher or get any pass rushing. It seems like so. Be good to see them take there. At 9, I got Chicago then doubling up here and getting Rome, and just giving Williams another weapon to sit and have him also be able to learn behind Keenan Allen for a year and such.
DJ Moore, Keenan Allen, and Romo Dunze.
Yeah,
That'd be nuts.
And
think
Swift.
Yeah, and
Swift.
Komet, Gerald Everett.
Sean Johnson.
got a
Still
lot
got
of
Herbert back there.
He still do. They haven't traded him yet.
At 10, I got the Jets going offensive line and J.C. Latham. They need to protect him. I think they said he's basically going to project as a guard so they can move him inside and just let him try to help keep Rodgers upright.
Feel like you on these picks. I have no idea who these people are at all.
Next up, I got Vikings taking
You know this
J.J.
guy, though.
McCarthy.
I do.
Yeah, you do. JJ McCarthy,
Okay.
Michigan quarterback.
Be one of those things. If the Vikings could stay at 11 and not have to trade up to get him, I think that they'd be super
The
stoked.
Vikings.
It's not going to happen.
I hope he doesn't go to
That'd be the
Vikings.
dream scenario. But
Again, this is no
I could
trades.
definitely see him with the Vikings, though.
Yeah.
I could definitely see that happening.
It's just a matter of where they're going to have to go up to and who they're going to have to maybe outbid to get him.
Probably this next team.
Yeah. 12, I got Brock Bowers.
That'd be
going to
huge.
Broncos.
That'd be a good one.
Give them something to work with in the middle. I know they still need a quarterback and such, but
Yeah,
At-
they
at this
definitely need
point-
one of those. This year's a lost year though, because they're eating
Salary
just
cap.
such a crazy number of Russ. What is it, like 50 dead cap or something?
total is like 80.
Yeah, it's insane. This is a lost year for the Broncos.
Yeah. They're eating a lot.
If they could trade up and get a quarterback and start the rebuild, good on them. But
Yeah, they'd be another team too. I could see them if they wanted to move back too, just to try to pick up more draft capital and try to rebuild a little bit more.
yeah, they'll just need a partner to come up.
Yeah,
So I think the Cardinals and the Chargers are going to blown up with trade requests.
I think anywhere from that 4 to 9 range, even because I could see Chicago maybe moving back a little bit if they want to, just to maybe pick up a little bit more.
Yeah,
So-
a rumor I heard today was they might want to move up.
Oh, try to move back up and
And put Harrison with Caleb Williams. So you got a receiver there, but may they move up and take the best receiver? That'd be
so
crazy.
basically moving up to where Arizona is.
Yep.
That'd be nuts.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't wait
Work for Houston, man. They moved up and took that defensive kid right at that second pick.
Yeah,
Look what happened to them. They just fucking whoop.
Yeah, he's
Turned
good.
that fucking. It was a brand new book.
Yep. Yeah. They improved tremendously.
At this point, 13, I got the Raiders taking Terrion Arnold, cornerback out of Alabama. So, just in the defense. I got the Saints going offensive line with Troy Fatananu.
Yeah. You do. Yes, you do.
I also have the Colts going offensive line with Jackson Powers Johnson.
I like some of these names.
Yeah, I can't wait till draft day.
Seahawks here.
Jackson
taking
Powers, he was on
edge
Disney,
rusher
right?
and Liatu. That is literally his name is Liatu Latu.
Nice.
Next, I got the Jags taking offense lineman Nate Wiggins, another interior lineman.
She related to that basketball
Bengals
player.
taking.
She related to that basketball player,
Don't think so.
Wiggins.
No, I don't think so. Andrew? No.
You never know.
He's not Canadian, because Andrew Wiggins is.
Oh, maybe they were split at birth.
I got the Bengals taking offensive tackle here in Amarius Mims. Then I got the Rams taking cornerback in Kool-Aid McKinstry.
When I looked at that first, I thought it said Kool-Aid McThirsty.
That would be too good.
That would be
Kool-Aid
awesome.
is still pretty damn good.
Yeah, like your name is
That's his
Kool-Aid.
real name?
Yes,
See, what position?
What?
corner.
Oh, damn. Can't even draft him.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's different.
that's hey.
Different. It's
you wanna
first time
get-
I've
you
seen
wanna-
that.
You want to play IDP?
Nope. Not even a little bit. I've done it once, and it was not fun.
Next up, I got the Steelers at 20 taking Cooper DeJean, cornerback, Iowa. First white guy to play corner since Jason
No,
Sehorn.
he's not getting drafted.
He's actually projected as like one of the top corners.
I'm not part of that.
Next up, I have the Dolphins taking Quinyon Mitchell, corner.
Don't worry. I know some of these people at the end of this draft.
Then we got the Eagles taking offensive lineman Graham Barton. Vikings at their second first rounder taking tackle offensive Tyler Guyton.
I just see no way that they keep 2 first rounders.
Yeah,
They're gonna.
I
think they're gonna
they
try
will.
really hard to move up.
They will, but at this
Maybe
point,
they talk
we don't
New
know.
England into it. Maybe they get New England to move out of that pick.
Possibly.
I
Next
don't
up,
know. Well, I mean,
got
it
your
is
Cowboys.
a new era.
Yeah, yeah. Maybe New England won't win every trade. Got us taking Keon.
I got taking Keon, give him that third option to really kind of replace Gallup.
I really hope Jalen Tolbert takes that step up, but if they draft a receiver, I'd be all right with it.
Then I got the Packers taking defensive end, Ennis Rackshaw. Tampa Bay going defensive line with Chop Robinson from Penn State.
Fantastic names. Did you make this list based on names?
No.
They're really good.
Yeah, you picked some good ones.
Next, I got the Cardinals taking Byron Murphy, the second cornerback. Then I got the Bills taking Adonai Mitchell. I just think they need to replace Diggs. So
They got to replace a lot of
Be
stuff.
interesting to see if Adonai or Xavier go first out of those two.
yeah, it'll be interesting.
The 2 Texas guys.
I didn't have Xavier going in this one. I think he's going to slip just because he's a little more inconsistent. He's not as big as Adonai.
There's so many receivers in this draft. There's going to be some really good value in the second round for
That's where
wide receiver.
And then I got Darius Robinson, corner, going to the Lions. Then Ravens taking another wide receiver, Troy Franklin. I think he just matches more of what they want. And I got Cooper Beebe going to the 49ers, and then ending off with the Chiefs taking Brian Thomas Jr.
Well, yeah, they're going to have to replace Rice.
Yeah. Well, they needed a wide receiver anyways.
Well, they got one in Marquise Brown
I think they only have to replace Rice for 2 games.
for a year.
No, I don't see that.
I do.
We'll see about that.
I mean, if I guess the league wants to make an example out of him, maybe.
Well, it's time to crack down on some of this crap.
Right.
Oh, you can go back to that.
Oh.
We'll pull up this other one. This is insane.
That's right.
So this is a 10-teamer. I couldn't get any running backs. I tried desperately to trade for running backs. Didn't happen. I had a good team and decided, you know what, I'm never done it before. So I'm blow it up and start completely over. So this is kind of a thread of that blow up and how it's still going, because some of the picks are yet to be made. Some are next year still. Some of these trades are good. Some of them are not so good. First one, I even dated them. I was really bored at work.
Must have been a slow day.
traded away the second pick in the draft because I didn't need it anymore, and picked up was a couple first rounders and then some fourth and fifth rounders. But turned one of those into Isaiah Pacheco. That comes up big later. And he turned 1-2 into Damian Pierce, so he wasted that pick.
I think he was good that first year.
Yeah. Not so good anymore.
To be
Which is the
determined.
problem with running backs.
To be determined.
He's lost a lot of value. I wasted one with Treylon Burks, one of the picks I picked up, and he's been nothing so far. Greg Dulcich traded the other two. You'll see RP Richards actually made some pretty good trades on me here.
And the only thing with him is he doesn't I don't think he realizes the dynasty value.
Yeah, he made a couple good ones. You're going to be pretty impressed. I traded away 2-2, picked up a bunch of future stuff, couple seconds, it looks like a third, fourth, fifth. Turned one of those seconds though into a Chan. How do you do that one? Yeah. So got lucky with that pick.
Yeah.
That turned out pretty good.
I don't know. You get
At least
Trey
for a year so
McBride.
far.
Trey McBride was pretty good.
Yeah, Trey McBride's been good. He made a good pick there at 2-2. The other picks I basically traded away except Cedric Tillman, which seems like probably isn't going to matter. Then the big trade I made that really just set me on getting rid of everything. I traded Justin Jefferson, James Robinson, fourth and was a third rounder or fourth rounder this year, so that's 2 fourths. Picked up a couple firsts. What was that? 2 firsts, 2 seconds, and a fourth. Traded a couple of them, but one of them's turning into 1-2 this year, which is going to be Malik Neighbors. One of them turned into pick 12 this year because Wicked Clown sucks, so he got the second pick. And then Mechie, who I wasted a pick on.
Well,
So we'll see.
he
This
got
one's
cancer, so it's not really his fault that
This
he got cancer.
well, he's not working out in the NFL so far. He's got better.
Gee,
though.
that's
He's healthy
fucked up.
now. He's
That's
healthy now.
fucked up.
He's fine now.
That's fucked up.
It's not like he's still like laying up there or anything.
How do you know?
I'm not sure how this trade worked out.
Yeah, I don't understand this either.
Jefferson's still a stud, obviously, so we're gonna have to see how Neighbors is.
Oh, I thought you were talking about that one underneath it. Like, what?
Oh, that was a good one. Brandon Cooks for a future first. Well, look what I did. It was back on August 12th, 2022. Brandon Cooks just went to the Cowboys. He's a good receiver. I got a first round pick out of him. That was probably a
Yeah,
little
you
high.
did because look
But he
at
thought
who
he was going to be
traded
good.
with.
He ended up not being good.
That's good to who
I
you
mean,
traded with.
like the fantasy team. He ended up getting the third pick, and I want to turn that into Romo Dunze. I just filled in because I already know that one. Then I traded Mike Evans, picked up a future first, a second and a third. We'll see how that one turns out. I traded the second and third already. Draft the pick 9 this year and see what I get for Mike Evans.
Yeah, kind of trading away that second that ended up being CJ Stroud. That could have been huge for you.
Yeah. That would have been a good one to pick. That was the RP Richards pick later on. Then I traded Kyler Murray for a couple firsts. Traded away one of those, and I picked one of those. So Jackson Smith and Jigba. We'll see.
Yeah.
Not looking good, but
Yeah,
but
the Olave one hurts.
But Kyler Murray went and got injured right away. So
Yeah. Didn't hurt too bad.
the next trade was insane.
I
All of these were on August 12th. I was on a trading frenzy that day. Damian Harris and Antonio Gibson. And I picked up a first and 3 seconds. That first turned into 1-1. Marvin Harrison Jr. for Damian Harris and Antonio Gibson, along with pick 11, pick 2-8 a couple years ago, which was Christian Watson, And then I traded the other pick, which became Sam Laporta, which is the other part of the trade that RP Richards had. It comes up later. He made some good picks. He's actually got a pretty decent team now. See how he does with it. Another trade with RP Richards. I traded away pick 2 in the 22 draft. I was trading most of my 22 picks away if I could. Got a second and a couple thirds. I got David Bell. Haven't turned the other two into anything yet. Will this year. I like that one. I traded a lot of picks away just for whatever future value I could get because I knew I was going to get Bijan. Well, I didn't even mention that. That was the whole reason I started that rebuild was because I knew Bijan was going to be in the next draft. I wanted 1-1 because I wanted a running back because I couldn't get one. I was like, at least I'm going to get Bijan. I'm going to start my rebuild the opposite way of how I would actually start one. I would start one with everything else first, but this was Bijan. I really liked him, so this was my experiment.
Going for the glory.
So I also traded away another first-round pick in 22 for a 23 first, which I traded later. I traded away Metcalf, picked up a 25 first and a second. Traded away Penny, picked up a second and 25. Melvin Gordon for a third next year, and Godwin for a first, fourth, and fifth. These were all back in 22. October 4th of 22. That was the last of the trades for 2022. So now I had a fuck ton of draft picks and not a ton of players. I think I picked up a couple free Jalen Warren that year. I think I picked up.
Yeah, you got Jalen Warren, K-Dot.
And I also drafted Tolbert and Palmer that year with my own picks. Those are the two picks I made with my own draft picks. And then 23, summer of 23. First one was with you to move up to 3. Traded away my first, a third, fourth, and fifth, which you did pretty good with, I think. Anthony Richardson, Roshan. I'm not sure about Dorian Thompson-Robinson.
Yeah,
and you get a pick 43 this year.
5th round flyer is one of those things. Let's see what happens.
But I wanted to move up and get Gibbs. I added Bijan to JSN and then Gibbs. I was like, get me another running back. We'll see what happens. And then Achane was just a huge surprise. Now I have 3 running backs. Then I traded. This was a series of trades with Fish. I was originally moving up to get Anthony Richardson at pick 5 because I was informed that pick 4 was going to be Quentin Johnston. And then Koop changed his mind, decided he was taking Richardson. So I was like, shit.
This was a bullshit trade.
I told Fish I wasn't taking Addison because I was taking Anthony Richardson.
So I announced I was taking Addison.
That changed my strategy when I found out Richardson wasn't going to be there. And I'm like, well, I mean, I'm going to take Addison if I'm there.
No, you were not.
I was going to take him if I was there. I told Fish, if you want to come back up and get this pick, because otherwise I'm taking Addison there. So he wanted to move back up. So we kind of reversed this trade later. Stupid defenses are in this league. Cowboys have a good defense, so I traded for the Cowboys in a first-round pick.
Like defenses. You are the only one.
Traded away first, a couple seconds, and a third. And later you'll see the unraveling of that trade to back it up. RP Richards. I went and traded for Justin Fields. Big-ass mistake. Gave up a first in 2 seconds. He turned them into nothing so far. I'm not a fan of Charbonnet.
No,
Anybody?
either am I. Not really.
It's my favorite.
Inviting him over for brunch.
Just hang out. Just hang out.
This next trade, the RP Richards, I would try to get a tight end. I went and got Kittle because I thought I was going to maybe compete a little bit last year. I don't like to rebuild. I got Bijan. I was like, all right, competition time. I went and grabbed Kittle, 2nd round pick, traded away 2 seconds. He turned that into Laporta and Stroud.
Yeah, that's
pretty sick. I wish I could redo that one. I would redo that one if I could. I'd rather have Laporta and Stroud than Kittle and pick 13. And I don't have Kittle anymore. As we'll see.
Yeah, considering how low you were on Kittle because of how that offense.
Just the tight end I could get in the trade.
Trade him away if you can, and then here you are trading for him.
Yeah, it's the only guy I could get. And when I wasn't competing, I ended up trading him away. The unraveling gave Fish back his 5th round or his 5th pick to get Addison. I got my 1st and 2nd back. Turned one into Mims, traded the other. Dalton Kincaid. I traded away first round pick last year, pick 7, and got ended up being pick 7 this year. So I lose value on that a little bit just because it's a future pick. But I like pick 7 this year more than pick 7 last year.
Yeah,
Pick 7 is going to be a good pick this
way
year.
more talent available this year. Pick 7 than last year.
Then I traded away Kittle, got a second rounder back. That ended up being pick 16. And then I traded away Pacheco, who I took at 4-1 the year before, and ended up getting a first and a second out of that.
2025 first and a second rounder this year.
I was pretty happy with that, being able to flip Pacheco.
That's
Anytime you can flip a fourth rounder the next year for a first and a second, you're increasing your value at least. Couple other free agents I picked up, Kate Otten and Zamir White.
Did drop
I did drop Mostert. Yeah, that's the one. I mean, I picked up and dropped other people, obviously.
Yeah.
But those were the key, like the big ones. And I regret not holding on to Mostert. That'd been nice to have. Did not see it last year coming. And then with my own picks this year, I took Bijan and then Spears and Jaden Reed in the 4th round. That was good value.
Jaden Reed has been definitely a surprise.
Yeah, that was good value. You can go back to full. So yeah, I have like, I don't know, 11 picks out of the first 19 this year.
That's right. You ain't got mine.
So, no, I don't have yours and Coops. So I've got
no,
1, 2,
you have
3.
mine.
Oh yeah,
But I have
yours. You have
little
little
fishes.
fishes. I have 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 9, 11, 12, 13, and then a bunch of other
I'm
ones
somewhere.
later.
I'm one of those missing numbers.
Yep, you're 5.
Oh, fuck, you already
Yeah.
know. I don't even.
I've been studying because I.
Number 5?
Yeah.
Oh, Snapchat.
Yep. So yeah, I'll update this
Four?
again, fill in some more of those
I've
picks
got
and
little
stuff.
fishes.
Yeah,
I've got
but overall,
Damien's.
you're number 4.
Yeah, I've had the 4th pick.
Keep
through
you
the
guys
last.
informed on how many titles I win with this dynasty team.
He's not going to. 'Cause you still gotta
This is
get
the first and
rest.
only rebuild I've never done this. I've never just stripped a team down and started over.
Yeah,
And
'cause
I've
you
hit on some
literally
picks
stripped that
here.
whole team
Yeah.
down.
And as you can see, if you make a lot of trades, you miss a lot. I mean, it's just if you're making trades that are fair, you're gonna miss quite often.
Yeah.
And the only way you can make this many trades is really to be making somewhat fair trades. Otherwise, no one's gonna trade with you.
That's why you can't send crazy trades. Use a trade calculator. That's a big thing. I think a lot of people
So at least
don't
gives
do.
a basis. I wouldn't make it your gospel. And there's
No.
multiple out there.
Yeah.
So
But using something that
yeah.
gives you an idea of the value of what you're actually trying to trade and trade for.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody hates
You
on
know how many
keep trade
times
cut,
I've had
but I
to
like
send
it.
RP Richards that? Go to this website and you
Yeah.
put in those things, and then you tell me that's a good trade, bud, and then I will definitely take that trade, but it's not.
He's all over the place with his trades.
He's everywhere.
I mostly reject his trades, and then sometimes it's like, are you sure you want to do that one? But as it shows, I mean, he's won some of them.
Yeah.
That Laporta and Stroud
Yeah,
trade
that-
for him.
that
Looking at
one's
his team
huge.
now, he's actually got a pretty solid team. So it'll be interesting to see how this progresses.
Andy hasn't
in the
actually
next
started
year.
his league yet.
No, I have not.
As he said, he won't until after the 4th of July.
After
So-
camping season.
I've got all projected out. I know what I'm doing with those first 3, and I just got to figure out what you two are doing. Then I can figure out my next 2
I'm going to
picks.
tell you. I'm going to
Taking
tell you
a
what I'm
punter.
doing. No, you
What's
won't.
that?
I'm taking a punter.
No, you're not, 'cause we don't have punters.
Yeah. With the depth this year, though, I know I'm going to be excited with 6 and 7, regardless who's there.
Yeah.
You guys both, for some reason, take quarterback. I get a tight end and a receiver. Take a tight end and a receiver. I get a quarterback and a receiver.
Yeah. And the one year, because this is a year where I really need like a running back is what I really need. But there's
So you
really
need to be
no,
in the back end of the first.
Yeah.
I got some for trade.
Because I've heard
I got like
Trey
9.
Benson. Trey Benson. That is, if he goes to the Cowboys, I've heard him as high as like pick 1-7. If he ends up Cowboys or Chargers or one of those, the good landing spots. Same
Yeah.
with Jonathan Brooks. Like if somebody ends up with the Cowboys or the Chargers, they could go as high as like probably 1-7 or so.
Just depends
Single
on the
quarterback,
situation that these guys end up
Yeah.
in.
And if you're going to reach for him at 4 at that point, it's not horrible if you really need one, but
Yeah. But I mean, just looking at my team, that's really my
Yeah.
one weak spot because I mean, I've got Lamar, I've got a Rich, so I think I'm set at
Set
quarterback.
at quarterback, yep.
My tight ends are set.
Wish
I've
you'd have
got,
let me
like-
get Richardson. Man, now I got Fields.
Yeah, because
Doesn't
it would have been awesome because I would have had Addison.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, but Addison took a huge dump in value this year
Doesn't matter. He would have been like my 7th or 8th
Yeah.
receiver.
with no Cousins. Yeah, we'll see.
Trust me, I wish I could change my pick in Brandon's league instead of taking Quentin Johnson, where
Yeah.
I did. Definitely would have taken like Addison or almost anybody else at this
I gotta
point.
imagine everybody who took Johnston regrets that pick.
Right
No.
now, he going
No.
into this year,
Not with the departure of Keenan Allen, Mike Williams.
he might
Yeah.
be okay, but
Yeah, but with the arrival of Harbaugh,
That's all right.
doesn't like
Harbaugh's not
throwing.
throwing the ball.
You know, he's not. That's the problem.
No.
the problem
see.
he doesn't
Herbert is.
throw the ball.
Herbert's throwing the ball.
You know, Herbert's doing a lot of this.
No, because they lost their running back too.
He might actually run more. They might have Herbert.
He's
run
gonna
a little
have
bit more.
to. Save his life.
Oh
no
shit!
man. Well, that offensive line, depending on how bad it is, it's one of those things. He could need to be running more because it's not like they're going to have anybody else to really key on the outsides right now. And they ain't got a good tight end, so it's just kill the quarterback at this point.
Yeah, Chargers need to add some weapons.
So we'll see.
God,
what
Herbert,
happens.
man.
His-
He went from being such a promising dynasty
What
quarterback
do you
to being
think
like
this does for him? Like, should he start going now? Probably in redrafts. Like,
honestly, I don't know if he's even a QB1 at this point.
does he drop down, say, like to the mid or like the 20?
No, I'd say
Or like a
he's
15,
like 12
16.
to 15, somewhere in there, 13 to 15.
13
I mean,
to
right
15.
in that
Second tier.
low end 1, high end 2 range. That's, I don't know. We'll do our rankings sometime after the draft when we kind of know where
Everything
a little bit
lies.
settles down. But that's where I see him probably being somewhere in that range.
Because it's just amazing how much like his value had been evaluated so high.
Even in
Now-
Dynasty, he takes a pretty big hit because he was in a group with a, kind of a tightly packed group. And now he's behind that group. They took
Yeah.
away all of his weapons and they linked him to a coach that doesn't seem to
Want
want to throw the ball that much. It's not good for a quarterback.
Especially one that they're paying that amount of money to. I mean, to me, it almost makes you wonder if they're going to maybe trade Herbert.
No,
Be
No,
like,
I don't see that.
he went there because of Herbert.
I know,
Yeah,
but-
I don't see him trading him. He likes having a good quarterback
yeah.
because he wants the option to throw the.
Be able to
Yeah,
throw the ball.
it makes running the ball a lot easier if you have the option to throw the ball. Some of these running teams forget like that they don't put a quarterback out there. Stopping the run's not that hard if you're not scared of the pass.
Yeah, because then you're just loading up 8 in the box, 9 in the box.
Yeah. So with the threat of the pass, I mean, Herbert can fucking throw the ball. So you have to respect that. They're going to be a good team.
Yeah, they're still going to be
They're
probably
going to win a
good
lot of football games.
I think they'll be more improved on the defensive side than they are the offensive side.
They might win the division this year. And they have a legit chance at it.
Maybe
Chiefs are
not.
always good, but they're going to be a better team. Just Herbert's not going to be a better fantasy quarterback.
Yeah.
It's going to be worse, almost for sure.
I don't like that confidence.
Yeah, I don't either. I
don't like that
hate
confidence in
it.
it.
Have him in a couple spots. I like him, but it's not good for him.
I disagree with everything. You
Not
just
Burrow's ahead of him. I would
Burrow's-
have had Herbert ahead of
I'm
Burrow
still
last
worried
year, but
about
not now.
Burrow now too, because with that wrist injury, things I'm hearing are not good. Like they're saying, like he may not ever be
Oh,
at
really?
100%.
I'll have to look into that a bit. I haven't seen that.
Yeah, that wrist injury apparently is no joke. So we'll see. And
The throwing hand.
because
Yeah, we'll see.
where you see him in that game when he tried to grip the ball, he just couldn't grip it to throw it, and his wrist was just dead basically.
Who else moves up? Jordan Love's probably right there with
He probably, I think,
Herbert
takes
now.
Herbert.
Yeah.
He's actually probably in that 9 to 12 range.
He's had the 1 year, but it looked promising. He's got a lot of good young weapons.
Russell Wilson. No.
He might get beat out by Fields.
Yeah, that's going to be an interesting.
Steelers have no investment in either one, so they can have a legit competition and just pick the best one.
It's going to be
who
interesting to
knows
see
which
how
one
that
is at
plays
this point.
out. That'll be an interesting one. Because depending on how that plays out, I mean, do they, if Russ loses out, do they just release him or do they just keep him as a backup?
No. He'd be cut.
He'd be cut.
Yeah. I don't think he's a backup kind of guy.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah. I mean, just with the shit that they let him get away with in Denver, I'm just like, I'm amazed from the shit they're hearing. Like, he had his own office and shit. Like, dude, you were a player.
Dude, I can't even imagine doing that. You're just separating yourself from the team.
Like, dude, this is supposed to be a team game. Like, and you got your own special office that people have
Granted,
to
looking
come
at
into.
it from the selfish point of view, I mean, get yours. I mean,
Well, he's already getting
pay
paid.
them. Yeah, get paid if you get an office, I guess. But it just doesn't lend towards your leadership ability very
and-
well. Teammates are looking at you like, fuck.
And again, that's why I
This
think
guy-
when you see what happened in Seattle, that was not because of Russell Wilson. That was Marshawn Lynch and that fucking defense that were just absolutely insane at that time.
Marshawn.
That dude was
Still one of the best scenes in TV is the league where Marshawn's on the beach with Taco. They're talking about the last beer, and Taco's like, I'm going to just throw it over. Marshawn's, let's give it to you. I'll run it over.
I'll just throw
great
it.
scene. Fucking YouTube that scene. It's amazing.
That is pretty good.
Well, next week, what are we going to do?
Take a week off. I don't
No, we could do some RSO previews since the rookie drafts are coming up.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Put together a little
Side.
Maybe a mock.
financial preview, little sheet that shows like how much money people have, how many players they have, what positions.
Well, that's not going to really work because some
Breakdown.
of us haven't. Well, when's the cuts got to be done by?
Yeah, but I can
End of
kind of
this
look
month.
through and see which guys are 2023, and I'll know if somebody's got a franchise tag possibility.
I don't
We can
think
even
I'm
list
even
that
around.
out. Like these are for the teams that haven't finalized. I'll put in if they're going to tag anybody.
Or should tag anybody.
If
Yeah.
I was going to use it, I think I would have used it on Hawkinson. And
Yeah, I'll
since
do
he's
that. I'll
not
put together
playing-
our RSO preview for mine and Ryan's league since the rookie drafts are coming.
Oh, I'm excited for that one.
We'll do
I got the number 4 pick, and I fucking nailed the draft last year on there. And I
Yeah?
got Jordan Love on a dirt cheap ass contract for 4 years.
That's a good
If
one.
he keeps playing well, I nailed
I think
that
he
one.
will. Got a lot of weapons there.
Yeah, and they're young. That is a very young team.
Yeah. Almost as young as my team in Andy's 23 point something.
For now.
It's crazy.
Yeah, that
Because
is
out
nuts.
of all, I did 3 leagues in that sleeper thing, and most average ages are like between 25 and 26, right in that range. Almost everybody's kind of right in that range, except in Andy's league. I'm at 23, and everybody else is like 26, 27. Everybody else is just a little bit older.
Well, and I think a lot of that is too, is especially quarterbacks tend to be on the older side.
And I was thinking, as
Wow.
being a 10-teamer, you're going to have more quality vets available. That's kind of what I was thinking. It maybe pushes some of those younger guys off the bottom of the roster because you're you have 10 teams to split up all the good players.
so it leaves a little bit more quality out there. Yeah.
That's kind of what I was thinking. Maybe why teams were a little older. I don't know for sure. I was just,
Gotta look at running backs as dog years, man.
yeah.
Yeah, they go, yeah.
Running backs, I look at running
So
back
when you got,
windows,
like,
it's
9.
2-year windows. What do the next 2 years look like for this running back? Beyond that, it's just darkness.
It's all crapshoot anyways.
Anything could happen beyond those 2. Anything could happen beyond this year, honestly. But running backs are just so crazy, volatile. They can just go way up or way down really fast. I looked at Delvin Cooks. I have this new sheet that keeps track of keep trade cut values day by day by day. So you can kind of scroll through since it started 4 years ago or whatever, day by day values of every player, every draft pick. And Dalvin Cook kind of went up and then just went shoom, down to where he's worth like a bag of chips now. And that's what is 420. If you put a bag of chips on there, it's 420. It's like one of their secret menu codes or whatever. But yeah, that's about what Dalvin Cook's worth now. Like nothing. He's worth nothing now.
And it's sad because I remember back in the day him being like one of my only good players on a team that I was
Wasn't
trying to
even
rebuild.
back in the day. It's like 3 years ago. Like he fell off
For
so
a running
hard
back
and so
though, that is
fast.
back in the day.
Todd Gurley.
Like I said,
don't even
dog
think Todd
years.
Gurley's 30 yet.
Yeah.
Can you believe that?
I can.
He was, man, he fell off so fast.
Well, to
Running
me, it
backs-
also seems like running backs don't last as long as they used to. Because I'm thinking like even like running backs like Warwick Dunn, he played like 12
yeah,
years,
we don't get
and he's a small guy.
no
Or
no more
Brandon
Emmets
Jacobs
and stuff
played like
that.
10 years.
Darren Sproles still playing?
No,
I don't think so.
I'll say he's been around forever too.
he was. Yeah, he played for like 12 years. I mean, it's just like it doesn't seem like the longevity players play nearly as long.
They don't
anymore.
have to. They're making a buttload of money.
That's why
That is true too.
if I were to have to rebuild a team now, knowing what I know, I would, and doing points in draft picks like you should, where it's max points possible. So you can't just like bench everybody to get the worst record. Get rid of all of your running backs. Trade them, cut them, get rid of all your running backs, and you build all your other positions. You know, get young, get quarterbacks, get receivers, tight ends if you have to, but just don't have any running backs and get zeros at those spots every week. And that'll almost guarantee you get the first pick. You don't even have to worry about being sucky at quarterback and receiver. Just don't have any running backs in your team. And when you get good enough at the other positions, go get yourself a couple running backs and try to win. Running backs are it's stupid to have. If you're not a good team, like having Bijan, I have to get good right away because in 2 years, he might not have any value at all.
Yeah, because basically it seems like it's a 3 to 4 year window where you're going to get production, and then they just seem to drop off.
That's what the really good ones.
Tell
Yeah.
that to Derrick Henry.
Well, Derrick Henry is
But it took
not a running back. He
It took
is a
like 3 or
monster.
4 years before you started getting anything from Derrick Henry
Well, it's
too.
'cause
He
you had
wasn't good
DeMarco
immediately.
Murray and
Yeah.
somebody in front of him.
So he's a rare, odd circumstance. Normally, you
Barkley.
get your production right away with running backs, and then it tails off pretty quick.
I think Barkley would do good.
Yeah, Barkley.
Barkley.
Other than his
He could.
injury years, I mean, he
started
could have
off
been
fire.
Absolute stud.
Started off fire. I traded those 4 firsts in Brandon's and won a championship the first year, and then made the finals the next year, and then he hasn't been super helpful since then.
Yeah,
Well, it's because the
he's been-
team, team fucking
Well, he
died.
got hurt, and then he's had some really bad.
Whatever
teams.
the excuse is, but that's how it
should-
is
should
with
be
most
different.
running backs. You start up here, and then it's kind of down from there.
Kind of like a car's value. When
Very seldom
buy
do you
it
start
on
down
the lot.
here and then it goes up like Henry did.
yeah, it's
So,
basically used
drive
cars.
out the lot and there it goes.
It's
Yep.
gone.
And treat running backs like that. And same with like when you're contending, since it's really hard to get a running back when you're contending a top new one because you're usually picking late. So you're not going to have, if there is a Barkley or a Bijan or something that comes out, they're going really high.
Yeah.
You're not getting them. So go look for those used cars out there. Like last year, Kamara and the older veteran running backs that they just can't have a lot of value because they're too old. So you
Yeah.
can get them for a second round pick or something.
Third round pick,
second,
depending
third.
on-
Yeah. So pick up those veteran guys and you can keep contending a little bit longer.
Yeah, because that's where you want to use those guys on the back end, the guys that are, you know, what the production is going to be
Yep.
at that point, and just maintain without having to really expend the draft capital.
Yeah, because trying to get a Bijan is
Expensive.
yeah. Like last year, you were out to spend tons of picks if somebody was willing to give you him for picks. Otherwise, you're giving up a lot of players to get him.
Yeah. And it's at that point. I mean, but would you rather give up picks or players?
If you're contending, picks all day.
Yeah.
Like I'll trade all of my picks all the time. If I think I can win, I'll keep trading my picks. You guys can have them. You guys can have pick 10, 11, 12. Like, as long as I keep winning and competing, I don't need my first round picks. But it's when that stops happening, all of a sudden you trade one that ends up being like pick 4 or something. Fuck.
Yeah, then you're like, man,
And then your team falls off for a while because you don't have the
capital.
to rebuild right away. Yeah, we'll have to get into more draft strategies, rebuild. Like ranking lists, when you do dynasty lists, I really think there should be 2 different lists. There should be a rebuild list and a contender list because they're 2 separate lists. I mean, when you're talking dynasty, the players you want on a team that you're trying to win with are not the same players you want on a team you're trying to rebuild with.
Yeah. It is completely 2 different things. And again, that's where a lot of people need to learn to differentiate between that and also understanding redraft values. Because that completely fluctuates.
Then it's totally different. Yeah.
Because I think
totally
that's what
different.
a lot of people get confused because they'll be looking at stuff that's for dynasty.
Redraft is actually probably closer to your contender rankings. Like your dynasty contender rankings are probably a lot closer to the redraft rankings. Because you're looking at this year, you're looking to win now. You're not really looking to the future. I mean, a little bit. That's why they're not exactly the same. Because you're still kind of looking for the future. Like I'm not, even in a contender, I'm not trying to go get Aaron Rodgers. He's
Too old.
He's done. Like, I wasn't trying to get Brady a couple of years ago. Like there's a limit at the point where you're trying to get like this guy's done. He's got like this year left. It's not worth getting. Yeah, interesting.
We'll get more into that, especially coming closer to the real draft season starting and getting everything else going.
Real draft season. By that we mean all the fantasy drafts.
Yes.
All right. Until next week.
The ones that matter.
Yep. Same time.
Later.
Stay high.
Always.